Beyonce. Who is Beyonce?
I never heard of the broad.
I never heard the song, motherfucker.
I'm feeling myself.
How do you know it's a song? How do you know it's a song?
Because this nigga
Because what?
said it.
Because what? Because
I just
what?
told you, bitch.
He said Beyonce. He didn't say song.
If I say I'm feeling
He said
myself,
Beyonce. He didn't say song.
So
he said Beyonce. He did not say song.
This shit isn't. That's not her name, nigga.
It could be a meme.
It's not a meme, bitch. It's not a meme, bitch.
Niggas is back.
Break the walls down. I'm sorry.
Niggas is black. As always, it's the Black Wrestling Podcast, giving y'all wrestling from a nigga perspective. It's your boy Cal, rockthedump.com. You already knew that, though. Squad is on the line. Please say what's good to the people, y'all.
You're IlFam79, a.k.a. SD Card Jones.
That's good. That's good.
Shots for every biter.
Fair enough.
Mav Damon. I'm feeling myself.
Yeah. Before
Feeling myself.
Before it wasn't a meme. This nigga Mav Damon got a whole brush out, combing, brushing 4 hairs on the side of his face. He got Donald Trump hairs on his face.
I'm feeling myself.
Feeling myself.
I'm feeling myself. Hey, Cal.
Bitch ass juvenile, what's up?
Shut up, bitch.
He the prettiest nigga in the lunchroom. What the fuck is going on here?
Shut up, bitch.
Let me get cheese sandwich, Kool-Aid, Miss Jenkins. Yeah,
definitely got the Chicago rush.
So now that that's out the way, did you?
The energy is just weird this week.
You know what it is, but because it's like, look. You can't address everything. You can't address everything. There's no reason to address everything.
Don't say this week, my nigga.
Nigga come to the mic like Andre Ben at the Source Awards. Nigga, I'm tired of folk. No talking about.
It's been a week. It's been a very long week. Shouts out.
That's the other show.
I know. I apologize. It's true. I apologize, but it's true. When it's true, it's true. Shouts out to We Love Wrestling.
Oh man.
I think they only dropped one part of our conversation. I didn't realize.
Nigga, the edit was fire, by the way. Shout out to them for that. That was hard.
I didn't realize that Terry said that their episodes were 20 minutes. Jabba
Yeah, that shit was 2 hours.
Look, I'm sorry. I don't mean to do this, and there's no disrespect.
Then we cut it off. And then we cut it off and talked for another half hour.
And did a whole unrecorded podcast. Prince out this bitch. What I'm saying is this, and there's no disrespect to Jabbateers or any black creatives out in this space. I know Wilkins was like, damn, 42 minutes. We did that shit. We love wrestling. We got that 42 minutes off. Nigga, that shit said 46 minutes. For part 1, all I'm saying is we do this. And if you want to hide your face when we talk about how much we do this, that's on y'all.
Yo, make sure y'all check out that interview that we did where We Love Wrestling. Shit was dope.
We Love Wrestling YouTube page. It's part 1. I don't know when part 2 is coming. I'm imagining that editing.
We'll have to drop that shit.
In fact, editing 4 hours of wrestling talk with the 3 of us can be a big chore.
I'm feeling myself.
Hey, yo, if you don't shut up, yo.
I say something and I'm the mean one, but after a while, look.
Who called you the mean one, bitch? Shut up.
You.
Well, you sing Beyonce, so
you emotional ass.
Don't nobody care.
Ralph Tresvant, man with sensitivity face ass.
Hey, yo.
Look at him.
Yo, brother Math got a rotary cell phone.
Facts.
It ain't no contacts. That nigga just be mad. Like, I'm gonna call this nigga.
That's a fact.
This old man face ass.
Nigga said we gonna start calling you the Velveteen Dream, my nigga.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I wouldn't rock with it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I
have no idea what you're talking about.
It sound good.
Does it?
I don't.
Does it?
Yeah.
It don't.
What does it even mean?
You're feeling yourself. You're feeling yourself. You're feeling yourself.
Well, I mean, what were you saying, fam? You were saying Velveteen. He's good money.
So yeah.
No.
He's real. No. What you mean?
He's not good money.
No.
That money is looking really.
It's
real nice.
When he said good money, he's saying he's in the clear. Yeah. He is not broken in.
That man is going nowhere. He's going nowhere.
I'm just saying, be clear when I say when you say he's
so.
Good money,
No disrespect. No disrespect.
Yeah.
He. If you don't see him make certain annual lists that analyze certain sports entertainers and professional wrestlers and performers of Velveteen Dreams correctly.
Really quick, I got a question. Remember when niggas used to collect like baseball cards and stuff?
Right.
Yeah.
Back in the day, baseball cards, you get the upper deck joints, the fleers. Was doubles a good thing or a bad thing?
Doubles?
Don't answer that. Anyway, back to what we was talking about.
Wait.
So
but that was good. It was good. It's a good one.
That bitch think he's slick.
That's a good one.
That bitch think he's slick. I'm not even talking about my cousin. I'm talking about you trying to fill space, bitch.
Chill.
That's a good one. I mean, I'm saying.
You gotta chill. So, the
had a whole referee on there.
The Dream. Nah, his chill is not.
You gotta feel. I mean,
you gotta what?
Niggas.
What you mean? Nah, what you saying?
I guess less is more, nigga. There's plenty of us.
Nah, more is more. Never mind. See, you talking too much right now. It's a problem.
I ain't say a word. I'm talking.
You talking too much. You talking too much.
Talking to my cousin.
You know what that means, though. You know what's going on.
So what you eating? Bacon?
That nigga, nigga. You wish he was eating bacon. He before he go to sleep, man. I wish this nigga all my life. If he could just put down that piece of meat.
All my life, I had to fight.
You see, and he ain't even catch it. Fucking baby face head ass trying to be funny over here.
All my life,
Ricky Smiley head ass. Go sit your dumb ass down. What the hell is going on?
Hey man, get well with Ricky Smiley, yo.
He rolled down his window so the Sonic woman give him 2 pieces of cheese wrapped around a goddamn slice of toast. Start rubbing your damn Corona on your face.
You can eat that bitch cold.
Look, for the record, the marble sauce wings just got delivered, so my bad.
Damn. I'm really about to buy some mambo sauce off the Amazon too. They got
That's
the 2-pack.
I got some of that in my fridge. Yeah. I want to try the spicy. Right.
They got the 2-pack. They got the pack. You can get it's the regular and the spicy.
Both?
Yes.
Huh?
That's the Cap City or whatever it's called.
Capital City. It's $20, ain't it?
Something like that. $20. Basically, with shipping, probably it's somewhere around there.
For the niggas, ain't it?
I mean, that's what. I'm not saying that's who's shipping it, but I mean, that's who's getting it.
Holla if you hear me.
I'd love to see how many white customers they got, unless they Anthony Bourdain, rest in peace type people.
Shout out to Anthony
Jamal Johnson, yo. Jamal Johnson.
Damn.
Did we start the show?
So
you know, go ahead. Cause I got something to say, but go ahead.
So back with Dream, right?
Uh-oh.
So what they found out was the nigga Dream, whatever his situation was with the nigga that was making the accusations or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's some law where if you're under, like, of course you can't like be like a 30-year-old nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you're within, I guess, a certain age range, so if like if the chick you say is 17 and you like 21, you know what I'm saying? It's like a 3-year difference. So
depending on the state.
Yeah, no, well, in Florida.
Right. Oh, so never mind.
Of course, it's Florida.
Florida man.
Yeah,
Florida man.
So my question is, if does that pertain to statutory rape or something? I'm just.
Well, that's that. I mean, he didn't forcefully take anything or none of that. So the worst case scenario here would have been statutory.
Right. What I'm saying, I didn't get that far yet. I'm just saying, is that that law pertains to that, right?
Yes.
But when it's, well, I guess statutory rape is predatory as well.
He's definitely a predator. If that stuff is true, he's definitely a predator.
Right. So that's what my question was. So it's not
illegal
to be a predator.
Better ask Chris Hansen.
Because at what point is it child? Is it like pedophilia? I don't know.
You. All right, I'm gonna look this up to save Davey Boy Drip from having to look up pedophilia at work.
Here's the issue here, right?
Pedophilia is a psychiatric disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're a pedophile if you have the technically you may be a pedophile if you have the thought of being attracted to a child. Not necessarily doing it, but the idea of even being turned. And this, again, I apologize.
So, all right, let me ask a question. I got to kind of do the devil's advocate thing.
No, not here.
At what point, like the first day of being 18 is straight?
I think it's the intent. Like, I don't think you could be like, damn, this 15-year-old's about to be right when she turns 18 and then start pushing up.
But we're not talking about a 15-year-old. What
are we talking about? She's 17.
It's legal. That doesn't make it acceptable.
But that's what I'm. My question is,
correct.
At what point is, I guess, the range?
All right.
Like if I'm 35 and she's 27,
that's different.
But that's, I think age is one thing. So she's 17. How long had he known her?
I don't know.
Yeah, probably like 15.
Because the dude, Fuller,
yeah,
he knew him for like 3 years.
Correct.
He was 19 when he stopped fucking with him. Not in that way. I'm just saying, like, he realized, yo, this is weird.
I think that's the one that was 17.
Initially.
The dude.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So if she was 17 when she spoke out, who knows how old she was when they first started talking.
I'm talking about the dude I thought was 17.
He might have been 16. What I'm saying is we don't know how long they've been talking. Right. We just know her age at the time when she's reporting whatever's going on. You feel me? And that's the problem.
Right.
Because even when you were talking about it earlier, it sounds like the same approach they have with Matt Riddle. They know what's going on. They have all the information.
Well, I don't want to put Matt Riddle in the same box because
Why?
Matt Riddle just cheated on his old lady.
Yeah, he's just a cheater, which isn't acceptable.
Like
but
I would say probably 40% of that company has done the same thing at the minimum.
I don't want to get on the I'm not even talking about the cheating aspect. When I heard about the story, I didn't even know he had a wife. I was surprised, but, and again, I'm sorry, I'm not as well known as some of y'all other favorite podcasters, especially podcasters that are niggas. But I watched his pro wrestling. I was painting while I had the Payback pre-show on because I had to watch Liv Morgan in the Iconics. In that, I'm glad Liv Morgan and the Iconics got a do-over match on Raw because that Payback pre-show match was for the birds. But to hear them talk about what's your man's name? What's your man's name? Shit, what was the line? There was a line that was made because JBL was because like the commentary there was really weird.
Oh, when he was talking about Big E needing to get serious.
Right.
And then John Bradfield, Layfield, racist bigot, Fox News, said, well, you're a 5-time champ, and you did the spinneroonie in the middle of the ring.
Right. Like that's all they're for.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then people wondering why more Ronaldo amicably left the WWE.
Well, yeah, they saying that's the different.
I've not seen him say anything, but ask Rosenberg how he feel about taking the brunt of JBL's punishment during that Payback pre-show. It seems like it's a toxic environment, but it's one of those environments that if they know what's because it's corporate, if they know what's going on and they determine that they've got your back, you Gucci Poochie. Matt Riddle is Gucci Poochie. And I'm not even talking about I didn't know nothing about him being married. I just heard the story.
So that story didn't happen. You talking about with the chick talking all crazy?
And I'm saying
all that. Yeah. Shorty was a now Matt Riddle beat his, not case-wise because he didn't do anything illegal, but Shorty been
but they brought that up. That was the whole point. They brought that up. JBL, no. It was mentioned during Payback. I forget who brought it up. He was being interviewed, and the person interviewing him, it was Corbin. Corbin made some comment about Matt Riddle and something with his wife at home or not being faithful. Essentially, the insinuation was that he wasn't a good husband or whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. I say that to say if during a time where real victims are speaking out about what's going on behind the scenes in the world of pro wrestling, right now Matt Riddle is not guilty or innocent in the court of law, right? This is no. This got nowhere, right?
It has no legs.
But what I'm saying is allegations came out and they're pretty much just allegations. They're not going any further. Right?
They just proved everything.
What I'm saying is that it's hard for people to have a voice. And when the WWE has enough money to where if they believe your side of the story before even going into an investigation, that's where things get scary. Because in the perfect example is if the Matt Riddle situation has no legs, and they feel so confident about that they're going to make jokes about that on TV. I don't know what to believe when it comes to the situation with the allegations against Dream, because they clearly put the rocket on his back and set it off when he first came back.
So what? My question.
Either they don't care or they know that they're going to be able to make something go away.
But what can you do with, because niggas don't like the Dream now. Niggas love the Dream.
It's too late.
Now that niggas hate the Dream,
it's too late.
What can you do with the Dream?
They're going to push him.
They can't. No, they can't. No, they won't.
What?
He won't win anything of significance.
No, that's not what I said. I said they're going to push him.
No, they can't.
They're going to push him. Who's got the belt? Who's got the belt right now?
Nobody.
We have to preview a whole or recap a whole pay-per-view that just happened this Sunday. Who has the belt right now?
Roman Reigns.
Yeah, Roman Reigns. How many years did they push him to be that number one spot, but he didn't attain the spot because the people didn't care?
You gotta be clear on what belt you meant.
Yeah, true.
What the fuck? What podcast is this? You were so 20 minutes ago so quick to tell me what podcast I am and am not on.
Uh-oh.
I mentioned a belt. What belt am I talking about? Your daddy belt? The belt that beat the beard off of your face?
It was a championship.
You grown ass child. Grown ass child. What are you even talking about right now?
It was a match yesterday.
What was the match?
For a fucking title.
What title?
So when
what title?
When we're speaking about an individual that wrestles in the same promotion that had the championship.
You're not going to supreme alphabet your way out of this one, nigga. What title is you talking about? What match is you talking about? Because if you talking about Super Tuesday, that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about right now.
So be clear.
Be clear.
You weren't.
Be clear.
You weren't.
Be clear. Who won NXT?
Who
won NXT right now is anywhere close to Roman Reigns. When I asked who has the belt, you mentioned who had the belt.
If me and my cousin say the same thing, my nigga.
You said Roman Reigns, so what are you even talking about right now?
I said Roman Reigns.
That was the right answer. You said the right answer. Now you want to come back 2 minutes later and act like you didn't have the right answer? Nah, I'm sorry, teacher. I really got D. They said I had D. I got D, teacher. I'm sorry. What are you talking about right now?
All right, so
you're wrong.
Where were we?
What am I wrong about?
Mr. Drip, bring this.
What am I wrong about? What exactly am I wrong about?
So where were we? What point were we making here?
Ask your cousin, because he told me I'm wrong about whatever point we're making right now. What am I wrong about?
Let me speak then, bitch. Drink your beer and shut the fuck up.
Hey yo, that is a legendary quote. You can't quote yourself. That's weird. That's really weird.
My nigga, Cal specifically says, we're talking about the Dream. Cal says, who has the belt? Because we're talking about the Dream, I automatically.
We weren't just talking about the Dream, though. It's the whole point. It's the whole point.
Proceed.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
We were talking about the Dream.
We weren't just talking. We're talking about pro wrestling.
All right, so as captivating as this argument is not,
it's not captivating at all because the point is gone at this point.
Yes, bitch,
absolutely. So, hey, shut up. Anyway,
he laughed. How? Never mind. This shit don't even make no sense, but it's a joke. Is the funny part?
Yes.
So
no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So you're saying
it's a joke. That's not how it works, nigga. What are you talking about?
It is when I'm laughing.
Jesus Christ. It is when I'm laughing. It is when I'm laughing.
All right, so look, right, this is what happened. So you were saying that they were putting a rocket on somebody. Who got the rocket?
Wait a minute.
You saying
Velveteen Dream?
Nah, Dream didn't get the Rocket.
How did he not get the Rocket?
He came in and won a match to get into a 6-way ladder match, and he lost. And
how did he? How now? Mind you, as the person who's talking about how good Keith Lee looks right now, Velveteen Dream didn't just return like he was a regular dude. He was one of the most important people on the card. Let's be clear. He was used
as NXT Ziggler. Is a guy that is respected on the card.
Those are two different things, though. You can't go based off of how you can't say he was, because the NXT Ziggler comes after the fact. When he first came through, he was that guy. We said it on this podcast.
He's legitimized.
He's going to be on TV.
He ain't going nowhere. That's all I'm saying.
He's going to be on TV, but he's not winning matches.
He's not gonna win shit. And
that's because he's that. But
it doesn't matter.
But you know why? Because he's black. He wasn't gonna win shit anyway. That's what are they doing with Keith Lee right now? Keith Lee ain't winning no belt no time soon.
Keith Lee just got to Raw, and he's positioned next to Randy Orton. He was in a 3-way dance with Randy Orton.
Same arguments on different.
But guess what? If Raw is the bus, where is Keith Lee sitting on the bus compared to where Drew and Randy are sitting?
Under the wheel.
It's not in the same section.
No, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Saying that is ridiculous.
It's the same.
Under the wheel is ridiculous.
It's the
Under
same.
the wheel is
ridiculous.
I didn't say no, because he won a match clean against Randy Orton, and then Randy Orton climbed over him to pin. Who did he pin?
Exactly.
He climbed over him and did not pin. So he wouldn't eat a pin. He's not eating a pin. Seth Rollins. The nigga is in a match.
And guess what?
Randy Orton and Seth Rollins.
I'll add on to that. Because Keith Lee's won his next 2 championships, or he won his next 2 matches on the pay-per-view and on Raw. But guess what? What happened? Randy Orton is still in the fucking match. At the end of the show, when they had the main event, Randy Orton was the one that was putting the match for the pay-per-view. It don't matter how many times Keith Lee is winning matches. Obviously, it can't.
Y'all niggas is having the same argument.
Let me ask you a question.
And you ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, because
baby face. Baby face.
I'm letting you go, nigga.
Jeez.
I'm letting y'all run. Y'all saying the exact same shit on 2 different.
What are we saying?
One, you're saying the Dream being on TV is the push. Fam says that the Dream isn't going to win a fucking title at all. You're saying Fam says Keith Lee being on TV is the push. You're saying
not just being on TV.
I agree with Fam
saying. The card is a different deal.
What you're saying is Keith Lee ain't winning no titles.
Right, because you know why?
Tomorrow? No.
And wait, and Math, one step further. Why am I saying they're not winning titles?
No, you're saying they're not going to win no titles because they're still niggas.
Exactly. What are we even arguing about at this point?
Nothing. We ain't arguing at all.
We're potting. That's the key, and that's what makes us difference. That makes a difference between us and I don't even know if you want to call them peers. I don't know. I don't want if you look up the term peer in the dictionary, is there a length of time that goes with that, or is it just people who are in the same space?
I would say probably the same space, but I don't.
So if you just bought a ticket to move to the town 2 weeks ago, but somebody helped build the town, y'all peers because I'm here now.
If you drive an Avalon and I drive a Yaris, we are both Toyota drivers. However, Keith Lee is on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what the
see? I gotta be Draymond this week. Y'all niggas just shooting.
I don't know what that means. You know what's great about Keith Lee? You know what's great about Keith Lee? Because Keith Lee is proof that for some people, what the announcers say actually matters. If you watch Keith Lee on the main roster, how many moves that use his agility have you actually seen?
0.
Maybe 2. All these matches he's won, all these big looks he's got in, you've heard them tell you about his abilities more than they've shown you.
Correct.
His abilities. When do we get this? Are we waiting for a quote unquote big match? Whenever that happens, to see that this nigga can jump very far and run very fast.
No, because that's not the style of the main roster. So the style of the main roster isn't flippy. So he gets to use a bunch of his agility when he's down at NXT with your Adam Coles and your little bitty flippy niggas.
That's what.
That's not gonna come out during these the matches with Randy Orton.
When you say main roster, do you mean the top of the roster?
I mean where he's at right now. He where he's at right now. Because you're not wrong, fam, about NXT, but guess what? that was too much. That was when niggas was dying in the street and people cared. We on to some new shit now, apparently. They're not worried about that. We need to be seeing that now for that to even mean something. Because if my question is if the style, I agree with you, the style of the main roster is not a man the size of Keith Lee running and flipping.
The main event scene in the main roster. I'm sorry.
But what I'm saying is, so if that's not even the style, why are you even bringing it up? They're bringing. I mean, they're using it as a positive to say this is why this guy's unique, but we don't get to see him be unique. Why is that? And I'm not saying I have the answer. I just don't get it.
He's only had 2 matches so far, right?
What do you mean 2 matches? He won 2 matches at the top
of the card.
Yeah, 3.
3? Okay.
I watched him do 2 matches this week.
Yeah, 3 matches.
Right. He just got to the main roster.
They've had 2 pay-per-views and 2 Raws in the last 2 weeks, is what I'm saying.
No, he's had 3 matches.
Because he wasn't on the pay-per-view.
He was just on the pay-per-view this past Sunday. He beat Randy Orton.
Right. No. I'm talking about the first. He wasn't on the first main roster pay-per-view. He wasn't on SummerSlam.
So in the last 4 times Raw's been on TV, he wrestled 3 times.
No. He was on Raw. He was on Raw, Payback
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on Raw last week. He wrestled he's wrestled Randy Orton 3 times.
So it was right. So Raw, Payback, Raw.
Right.
And he's 2-1 against Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Right. With no pin.
And he had another. Did he have another match?
No.
2-1 against Randy Orton, mind you, the guy who's going to be challenging for the world championship.
But
you saw Keith Lee do a leapfrog. Why do we care about him being an agile guy if that's not even the style and he's still winning matches?
But he also cut good. He also cut good promos.
I think that's debatable.
But that's no, it's not. No, it's not.
He's cutting promos. I don't know if they're good.
The promo he cut when he was in the ring with Randy Orton was very good.
The one where he cut about my white friend, I gotta avenge him, is not.
No. The one he cut this week on Raw.
Yeah, and I'm saying he's cut a number of promos, they're not all good. He's not a good promo like that. He's all right to be on the main roster.
He was good this week.
Hey, 1 out of 3 is not that great of a score.
I mean, Mike, how many times did he have? I mean,
probably about 3 times is what I'm saying.
No, there was no promo on the pay-per-view.
50%, whatever the fraction is, we can't act like Keith Lee is the bomb promo.
I think it works for the main roster.
Why you mad?
Yeah, I don't know, yo. You good, yo?
I'm great. I'm just trying to.
Why you mad? Tell us why you mad, my nigga.
In the season of ranking things.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Well, because all right.
Tell them why you mad, Cal.
It's not. I'm not even mad. It's a constant conversation that people always act like they're confused about when you talk about something being the best.
Hold on.
When you say the best, yes, skill means a lot. But I think the thing that people forget when they talk about the word the best is the fact that the best means currently. Because it's not the best. It's
sometimes.
It can't be sometimes. It's sometimes when you say the best alive. Because if I was to say the best wrestler alive and Ric Flair is still sitting around looking at TV and laughing, it's a different conversation if you want to go that broad. If we're talking about the best right now, active, currently, it's a different situation.
So what you saying?
I'm saying this. I'm saying it cracks me up when people try to put things like Keith Lee's a great promo out there right now. He's fine. He's fine.
So when you
let's be for real. I'm not mad and I'm not. Let's be for real.
Let's also not trash the nigga before.
I'm not trashing him. I'm not trashing.
Let's not trash anything he's done on the main roster before he stopped. You know what I mean? He hasn't done anything bad so far. He's been booked very well.
Who are his contemporaries?
Every other nigga on the roster, apparently.
No, you're not gonna see that nigga's not fighting any of the niggas that lose.
If he's main event, who's on the main event scene then?
So now,
if he's main event, then who's in that? Who's in there?
So now you have to compare him to those people.
Who's in that? Roman?
So we're talking Roman Reigns, who has
Bray.
You're talking Big E. I guess we're gonna say Big E.
We have to. No, you have to. If you're reaching, you're bugging. But okay.
You're talking
who?
Randy Orton.
Who?
Big E.
You said so. Big E is they're pointing him in that direction. I don't think he's there yet.
He's mid.
I don't think your man's is waxing Big E in a promo. So you might even want to leave Big E out of this conversation.
Hold on. So Randy Orton. Who's good?
Mm-hmm.
Drew McIntyre, who's not good.
He's serviceable.
That's what y'all say. I think he's decent.
He's serviceable. As a main event.
That's it. Seth Rollins isn't in this conversation. The best heel everybody calls Seth Rollins. He's not in this conversation.
You gotta say Seth.
Okay.
So AJ Styles is at this level.
That's main event.
Yeah. No, yeah.
That's AJ Styles. That's Bray. That's
Sheamus.
Not anymore.
Sheamus is out.
Not anymore.
Daniel Bryan's out. I'm not seeing him in a minute.
So and
Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy.
He's mid card. He's upper mid now.
He has a belt. He is Intercontinental Champion right now. No,
he's the top.
I'm just saying. I want, like I said, I just want to put everything in perspective. So we're getting everybody out there.
If you put Jeff Hardy there, you gotta put Bobby Lashley.
You got to put MVP, right?
No.
Why not? Talking?
Event scene?
No. Because
he was vying for the U.S. title a month ago.
That's mid card.
Right.
That's not the conversation we're having.
If Jeff Hardy is in a consideration, somebody who was
Jeff Hardy is the top of the mid card.
Okay, say less. But Bobby Lashley's in the conversation.
No.
How do you figure that?
Because he's not shooting at a main event scene.
Jeff Hardy.
Then what is Keith Lee doing? They're on the same track.
Keith Lee's fighting everybody in the main event scene. He's only had matches at the top level.
What is
Randy Orton?
What has Bobby Lashley been doing throughout the whole quarantine?
He's been in Fight Club wearing suits and stuff.
Nah, don't do that. Don't disrespect that man like that. Don't do that.
And he got chiseled. Don't forget him getting chiseled.
Where does Keith
I don't like him, but he was at the forefront of the card on Raw every Monday. You know that.
No.
You know that.
Where does Keith Lee sit among that list?
That list, he's at the bottom. There's about 4 people you mentioned that might be in contention with him if we're talking strictly promos. Promos?
No, we're not talking strictly promos. We're talking.
That's all I've been talking about. That's all I've been talking about.
You're talking promos.
That was my whole conversation because you said he was a viable promo, and I'm contesting it. I don't believe that.
I said he had a good promo this week.
I think it's hyperbole to call him a great promo.
So
I didn't call him
That's all I've been saying.
I said he had a great promo this week.
And I said he wasn't a good promo, and y'all call me crazy. That's what I'm saying.
No,
we didn't call you crazy.
No.
We just disagreed.
I said you were wrong because you said he had 3 promos. I don't think he had
and I said he had 2 promos. One of them was good and one of them was not. And then I said, based off of who's in the main event scene right now, he's not a good promo.
I said he's mid.
So, all right, hold on.
He's
all right, so let's go into that argument. Is Drew a good promo?
No, wait.
Is Drew a better promo than Keith Lee?
Wait, no, fam. Because one thing I want to give you, because one thing you said when he was reading off that list, you mentioned how he was. I forget what was the term that you used specifically. You said he is serviceable. Is the word you might have used? It was something to that effect. I think that's where we are. We have people who are great promos, and you can mention like maybe the first 7 to 10 people that were mentioned.
Yeah, great promo is a different conversation than I thought we were having.
I'm just looking at promos in general. I'm just trying to get the levels because there are a lot of people who are they get that mic, they go out there in the ring, and you're going to get a solid promo, especially when it's time to sell the show. When you get to Drew McIntyre, it's like and Seth Rollins reaches above that sometimes, but he's at the lower level of that. Like, I know how to give enough emotion for the WWE to keep the story going, but I'm not like really feeling this, but I know how to do my job type shit. Like Drew's around that level. I think Keith is a little above, but he's right around that level. But again, that level is at the lower level compared to a lot of the really good promos here. I would say The Miz is a better promo than Keith Lee right now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things, and it's not this, and it's not a knock against Keith. But Keith is good, but Keith is still at the lower end for me right now.
Keith is also a better combination of in-ring and promo than The Miz.
Right. No, and that's why I'm saying strictly promo. When you get to the full picture, he's leaps and bounds above. And again, that's why I get frustrated because we have to hear white people and people in suits and ties talk about how amazing this man is. Look, if you're going to put him on TV, we can't even count how many times he's had promos and had matches because he's had so many and it's been confusing. It seems like we've seen more. This is what I'm trying to say. I'm not knocking the man, just like I'm knocking some of these cornballs that are trying to step on lanes that ain't really theirs. What I'm saying is it doesn't mean that it's always good. What I'm saying is that sometimes it's just okay. But I wish, and the real lesson here, 43 minutes into this recording, is that sometimes you just got to give niggas the space to work. Mm-hmm. If those jokers over there that don't know their ass from their elbow when it comes to trying to include shit into shit can fumble the bag the way they fumbled it and got this man looking stupid out here in public, defending himself in arguments that's not even there. Ain't nobody disrespecting. Look,
between me and you.
Well, because you know what it is.
Took you a second, didn't it? Took you a second.
You know what it is though, because we forget that we're still living. Like, it's how many days are we recording this after Chadwick's loss, right?
Yeah, roughly.
Like there's a bigger picture going on here. I don't think people realize. Like, I think when I realized Chadwick passed, it's like Benny the Butcher, Crown for Kings is like that's the mantra right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all about giving people flowers. Mm-hmm. You're not going to find another podcast that's going to be giving our people as many flowers as we do, even when we just talking. You know what I'm saying? It's just who we are. I want to see them be able to be themselves in that arena. You're going to put Keith Lee on TV? You're going to tell me this man could do amazing things in the ring? Show me that he's more than just a regular big guy. I want to believe it. I want you to sell me on this, but if you're going to half-ass it, what are we even doing here? That's my point.
Yeah, I think you just have to let. I think my argument to that would just be you got to let them kind of work the main roster style. So it's going to be, you have to let him work as a big man, but
Hey, big man.
Sell is
Hey, big man. You ever? How many times you heard big man in his life? I think it was 7 years old. Hey, big man.
all the time. There's nothing disrespectful because they ain't
look at little Keith trying to waddle down the street. Hey, big man, what you doing? Let me get out your way. Big man.
It's funny. It's funny though if you watch how they're. I think they are scared of reaction to Keith Lee, negative wise.
I can see that.
When he first came out, he came out in some Samoa Joe,
right?
The reaction was awful to that, right? In ring, no problems. The reaction. So then they switched him to his regular shorts. He still had like an Under Armour shirt on, which niggas was like, "Hey, look, nigga, we know what's under the shirt."
You go to the network. They prop the network up all the time. You see 12 million matches with this man with no shirt on. It was up until like a month ago. That's all it was.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think, and that's Vince. That's specifically Vince, and the slight changing of the gear. I feel like is like Pritchard, like kind of like, all right, just Vince, don't pay no attention to that. Just
testing it. And I guess it would probably make more sense if this stuff wasn't happening on their main shows. Like, you know, even with, like, if you go back, you remember you watch some of them old DVDs, like I think the best one I think of is like the Hardy Boys. If you look at like their oldest matches when they're like 16 years old wrestling on Sunday Night Heat as a jobber tag team because they lied on an application or whatever, you get to see them really work. We don't have that now. There's and not only do we not have, I mean, there's main event, but they're not putting Keith Lee on main event because nobody's watching it. But we don't even have house shows and a touring circuit for him to learn that side. He's learning right now. I just kind of wish there was a way where he could do that and it not be on SummerSlam or it not be on your main show with the guy who's about to be challenging for the world championship. It doesn't do him any favors when people are remembering how he started.
Keith Lee's kind of too old to be bringing along too. Like that's why I think they put him out here with goddamn. He's playing first stringers. Right. He's not playing with no, you know what I mean, Sunday Night Heat niggas. That is right. He's past that. They bought him up because they thought he's something. Because Vince walked past the screen when he was He was at the Rumble and getting co-signed by Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
I was gonna say
that. You know what I'm saying? His resume is already that. He's already surpassed that NXT. It took me a second to see it. And I guess they wanted to respectfully give him a chance to hold the NXT title, but they knew he was coming up as soon as he went through. With the Rumble and with Survivor Series and all that. So
it makes me remember back when the Rumble was going and we were talking about the different scenarios, and a lot of the time we just boiled down to, look, Keith is so good, he doesn't need a title or any type of Royal Rumble win to get on the main roster. And it's funny now this week having that conversation and looking back at the Rumble and seeing that out of all the niggas that squared up with Brock Lesnar during one of the better Royal Rumbles over the last, of the modern era, Keith was the one where he looked and was like, damn, this nigga's big.
Yeah.
Who's this nigga over here? It's like he really squared up with him in the ring, and
I legit don't think Brock knew him, which was funny.
No, not at
I
all.
legit don't think Brock knew him. He's like, oh, hold on.
This the fuck is
I think that's what he said. He put down Modern Woodsman and was like, wait a minute.
This quote in Modern Woodsman said, I think if we've learned anything this week, I think Brock kind of just shows up when he's supposed to show up, collects his check, and then he bounces until the next time it makes sense.
Oh, you mean Darrell Reeves? That nigga's free agent, baby. That nigga's out here.
I mean, if you want to call it, I don't know, like free agent seems like one of those terms that you put on it because of the nature of the contractual situation. I don't know if he's as free of an agent as that term.
I don't think so.
connotates because I like.
No, he's technically a free agent.
What happened was
you have to leave it that way.
Well, it's not a lie. It's clickbait, but I'm not supposed to shade y'all quote unquote respectable white journalists. It's funny what happens when never mind. Let me shut up. What happened was, now mind you, we always talk about WWE is selling shirts. Shouts out to Davey Boy Drip for holding down the Zoom chat on Sunday for the payback. We were having a conversation in there about wrestling merch, and every other week WWE's got the sale. I guess at some point somebody realized that Brock Lesnar T-shirts were no longer in the shop. It looks like they pulled them completely, and then someone did investigate, and they realized, hey, Brock nowhere to be found. Word is that his contract expired back at WrestleMania time in April. It's normal. It's just at this point, instead of having a SummerSlam, instead of having a Saudi trip or whatever was going on, he had COVID-19 and no fans. So it doesn't really make sense for Brock Lesnar to be wrestling right now. He's kind of old. I don't know if diverticulitis and COVID in 2020 mean he should be trying to fight.
I forgot all about the diverticulitis, yo.
Yeah.
I forgot about that Brock that almost died because he's been so dominant ever since.
Facts.
You know what? The further away we get from it, and I think it's probably maybe the best long-term booking they've done in maybe 10, 15, 20 years, is the further we get away from it, the Undertaker win starts to make sense.
In terms of the story that's happening now, you're saying?
Because of what they've done with Brock since, and they use that as the catalyst to do.
Correct.
I think the more and more, the further we get away from it, and the hindsight of it, of course, the 2020 hindsight is that okay. I'm okay with Brock beating Taker that year.
Well, I will. Then what you say, man?
You didn't think it made sense then?
No.
I know everybody. It was like, this is stupid. Why would you do that here? And then we thought.
It was a pop for the crowd, and I mean, you have that. I've been in pro wrestling. I've been in the media so long that, and I'm not gonna name them names, but there are white people who mistook me for the nigga with the shock face.
A nigga with glasses.
I've had niggas had conversations talking. They was talking to me like they thought they was talking to the nigga with the shock face in the crowd.
And I'm like,
and I had
you are racist.
No. I had to say,
not you, them.
Well, that's the thing. But like, I don't want to be in conversations where I have to say, look, that's not me. But if you want to talk about WrestleMania for 15 minutes, we can talk about WrestleMania. And guess what happened? We talked about WrestleMania for 15 minutes. And guess what? That motherfucker didn't. He was not ready for that conversation because he thought he was going to be talking to the shock face nigga on WrestleMania. But I think just like Marvel getting into the movies, it it took them a bit to realize what they had. Like at the time, they weren't thinking Brock's about to be the biggest phenom for the next 5. They probably did, but not in the way that it happened. And it was probably about 2 or 3 years in where they're like, yo, the dots finally, because they're slow. The Daniel Bryan thing, they were slow. Daniel Bryan was at the point where they thought he was for like 2 or 3 months before they actually put the rocket on his back and send him off into space. You know what I'm saying? The sad part is the WWE's talked to this guy. I don't know his name, but look, does that look like me? Like, let's be for real.
All right, so do this.
Hold on.
Dead ringer.
That's a bullshit. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all.
It's just funny.
And again, that's no disrespect to that man, but guess what? Like, black people can look different and still be into the same shit.
That's a fact.
100%.
But like, I can see by the way his T-shirt hang, we got different.
I can tell by your braids that you. Never mind.
I'm just saying, like, you know, we're cut from a different cloth. That's why this is the podcast it is, and everybody else is doing whatever. Peace to the delegation. Peace to Greg and everybody.
Peace to the homies.
How do y'all feel about Roman Reigns being back?
I think it's amazing, and we finally have a star in wrestling. Because I just don't think there were any stars on TV.
No,
We had that.
I think there's some really good pro wrestlers. There weren't any stars on TV without Roman Reigns.
Remember, we had that conversation a couple months back about who was like the star, and after Roman, it was really slim picking. There really was nobody.
Shit just different. It's different.
Nope.
You got
some really good pro wrestlers.
They realized, like, this is the first time since the Shield was a team walking through the crowd where I've been hyped to just see what, like, and he's talking less. He doesn't even really need the Heyman stuff as the icing on the cake. He don't really need
on social media.
Son.
Roman. No, I'm not. Yeah. I'm not paying attention.
That
I'm not paying attention.
That nigga's a ruthless, vicious vato on social media.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. So when I was watching Payback and shit, shout out to Moo. It was Moo. I came from Moo's birthday party, so it's me and Moo watching Payback, and she says, "Wow, he's beating him up." I'm like, "Yes, he is."
Yes, he is.
She said, "I like him, Daddy." And I said,
"Yeah, I bet you do."
And I said, "Well, goddamn it, I like him too." Because it just shit felt different.
It was a different vibe, yeah.
It felt different when the nigga won the title. I'm like, yeah, that nigga was supposed to have the title.
I kind of wish when he first came back, he wasn't wearing the shirt that he wore. It was a little too much of a spoiler, but I mean, with the story that they told, the fact that he's aligned with Heyman, but like nothing's really been spoken about. They're kind of just chilling. Like it feels like salute to Jersey, salute to Trenton's own JJ Dillon. It feels like when JJ Dillon was just chilling with Tully Blanchard, like you didn't even really know why this white man was walking around, but look, that he had the jackets on, he had the gold, and they was talking some real boss talk. It just made sense.
Yo.
I don't know if that means they had to break the ring at the pay-per-view.
I guess they just got to keep it consistent. Every time that Braun gets superplexed in the ring, it brings it down every single time. You want to bring the ring down?
You would have thought that, like, after that happened with Big Show and Brock, they would have found ways to, like, reinforce. That was a while ago. Like, they don't think about, hey, we should make the ring stronger so the next time people try, because someone's going to try this move again. They threw a man off a cage at one point. Like, someone's going to try something more than just the
Towers
match.
one time.
Yeah, and
shout out to them niggas for living.
Shouts out to Baron O-Dog Corbin. He threw two niggas off a building. And so cold, kept wrestling the match.
Facts. That's a cold nigga.
Calculated. Man. That nigga ain't even care if your steak was well done or not. That goddamn Friday's manager meant business.
He said, I've been
LeBaron Tate.
Wow.
Actually, I was watching Menace the other day. That movie still holds up. If you wasn't a child watching that movie when you wasn't supposed to, I don't know what to tell you.
Yo, New Jack City does not hold up, by the way.
No, New Jack City is very crude.
Yo, every day last week. Can I several times a day?
I want my bad, cuz I just want to take this second give my mother a shout out.
Break.
I'm gonna take my mother give my mother a shout out for taking niggas to see all the shit they wasn't supposed to when we was
Word?
Fact.
Wait, how many of y'all she would take?
Me, this nigga, and probably one other person.
How
shout out to the trench coat.
She would go to because my mom does this for my son sometimes, and my cousin's son.
Yeah.
Would she she would have the crossword? Like, what was she doing while this insane?
She wanted to see the mom.
So she was down to okay. No, because it's the thing. Like when you had, I mean, I'm not saying white people can't relate, but like nigga families, when you have a family where it's like 6 or 7 siblings, they fall into certain patterns. It's always the responsible aunties and uncles, the ones who were kind of just like, it sounds good. I don't give a fuck whatever's going on. And then you have the young ones, the ones who never got in trouble, but they were the ones who, when they was 21 and you was at the graduation party, they would slide you a fifth or something. Like, you know, yeah, exactly.
So
shouts out to my Aunt Zena. My Aunt Zena was the one that put me on to all the movies, put me on all the Freddy Kruegers.
You gotta understand, me and my mother is 19 years apart.
That's dope. So it can be anyway.
My mom's she in her prime when I'm young. So all the shit she want to see.
Yeah. She said, like, shit, I'm gonna go see the shit anyway. What you gonna tell me? I can't let him in the movie I paid for?
Right. And she like, yeah, I got him, this little nigga too, and the other nigga with him.
See, because my mom,
all that shit.
My Aunt Zena would show me the stuff. She would show me the crazy shit. My Aunt Elise, she didn't want to see the shit. So me and my cousin is turned up when the first Batman movie come out. She's like in the corner mad, like, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. Because the movie theater was only down the street. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here. These little niggas in this damn movie. I know what she was saying.
See, for us, it was either his mother or my mother. And my mother and I are 22 years apart, so it's kind of the same deal.
Right.
So it was like we wanted to see the same stuff. So that being the case, we ended up in the movie together. And that actually includes wrestling shows.
Your mom's your parents was in the wrestling.
No, weren't.
Got you.
Every time we went, mom's bought in. Like mom's wasn't afraid. Like
that was my grandma. Yeah.
Yo, quick super sidebar to the sidebar. Or I had a 2-part honeymoon, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I got married.
You would.
We went on a cruise.
You would. The more I learn about we've never had a conversation, but the more I've learned about Brother Fam in the time we've done this podcast, he would be the nigga that would have 2 maybe a third that was just between you and the missus. I know what time it is, and I respect it.
If when the nigga said you would, it's so fucking fitting. Because he would.
He would. He would.
Is nigga, you would. That's
he
him.
would. He would.
Yeah, you got. I mean, hey, you only get one trip around.
That's facts.
So we took a short cruise, like 3-4 days, and then I had family in Florida. We cruised out of Florida. Nothing like, you know what I mean, big baller. We were still really, really young and broke.
Facts.
And
this is before the Bricky Schroeder days.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, Bricky Schroeder get what he want, yo. It's all day. As long as the grades is in, it's all day.
All factual. Nigga better be in bed by now. So after we get back to Florida, I have family in Florida, right?
Word.
And so where my mom is visiting my uncle in Florida. So when we get back, we kind of all meet up. And we like, what we doing? Let's go down to City View or City Walk or whatever it's called down at Disney, where they got like the bars and all that stuff.
Okay.
So we're walking down there, and somebody says, "Yo, you want to see a wrestling show?" Of course, I want to see a wrestling show. We're about to tape an episode of Impact.
What?
Now, mind you, I'm talking, it's me and my brand new wife, my sister, my mother, and my cousin Dawn. Only I watch wrestling in this group.
Who else even knew what was going on at that point?
But we all go to an Impact taping where the main event was the enigmatic, the charismatic Enigma.
Yes.
Versus Sabu.
Wait, what year was this?
This is, 04.
Okay. Damn. When did I
04.
start knowing y'all? That's probably a couple years after before I knew y'all. Had to have been.
Probably.
Probably at least like maybe 4 or 5 years.
And when I tell you at the height of the show, I look to my right and my mother is next to me going, Sabu!
Yeah.
Sabu!
Yeah. The one thing I hate about doing with we're calling or like pro wrestling in general is like lowest common denominator entertainment, but really like I mentioned it on pods before. It's like it's the easiest way to understand stories. There's a bad person, there's a good person. You want to see the good person beat up the bad person. There's enough, and Meltzer was mentioning it because it's so funny to hear how upset Brian Alvarez gets about everything. And Meltzer, because I'm
Brian
one of
Alvarez one of my favorite takes of the week, though, and we'll get back to that.
At some point, I want to have a conversation with Meltzer because I think the thing with Meltzer is a wrestling fan, but I think Meltzer's a wrestling fan because he's a fan of television. I think he's just always watched TV and he understands like soap operas. He had a whole thing this week, and it was true. The idea with pro wrestling is not to get what you want. The idea with pro wrestling is to have you continue to watch. There's people that you want to see win. There's people that you want to see get put down. But you might see that stuff at some point, but it's not going to happen when you want. The problem happens when the people who are supposed to be telling those stories get lost in the sauce and think that what they're doing is good because they're doing it as opposed to being creative and good storytellers. It's not that hard to figure out, especially if you watch TV on a regular basis or movies, but motherfuckers got money, they can say whatever they want to say.
Yo, so speaking of Brian Alvarez this week, AEW numbers were up this week because they were by themselves on Wednesday.
Right.
NXT numbers were way up because they were by themselves on Tuesday.
What they were by themselves on Tuesday because of what?
I'm not sure why they were moved to Super Tuesday.
I don't know what's on USA to know. Yeah, I don't know what's on there to know.
I just know, it was just they got moved this week.
Is there tennis? Is this tennis time? Like, is this the U.S. Open or the Wimbledon? I wonder.
I think I just got a email from Polo of all people. Imagine that.
Imagine that
talking about the goddamn U.S. Open. So maybe that is what was going on. But the point that they were making was that wow, we have two wrestling shows. And they do well when they aren't put against each other.
Right.
And honestly, I feel like this week AEW kind of took their foot off the gas because they knew they didn't have anything to compete against. So the show, but
the show was boring.
They did start to get closer to the formation of the Four Horsemen stable. And it's looking pretty.
You see Tully keeps trying to do a 3.
They had
some weird shit.
They had a hand thing. I didn't know what was going on. They all did it. Him and the Revival.
Yeah.
But if you watch the way people were positioned in the ring this week, that Hangman Page heel turn is coming.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Definitely on the way. But my friend, I believe that is your flair. I don't think we're getting Cody and the Horsemen.
I'm fine with that if they're ready to make him the guy.
I think they've been though. I think he's the best thing they've built in house other than MJF.
I hope because I think the thing is if you've been paying attention, Page being the guy makes sense. And this is actually a great segue because we have to get into payback. We have to get into All Out, which is this Saturday. To think that this is Labor Day weekend is astonishing to me. But
it was just March.
Big facts. I had to send an email. Like, I know I got mail sitting up in that motherfucker. Send me the shit. But
send it to you.
If Adam Page is the guy, it's going to take time. He's not going to be the Jericho reaction, the Moxley reaction overnight. So if they're ready to give it a couple of weeks, I'm all for it. If they're not, let him be the bruiser, the amazing bruiser that he should be. And don't waste the time with the bullshit, because you're going to end up messing it up if you try and make it what you know it's going to be too soon.
Right. I think they've been decent with that, though. I think they have been good at kind of being patient with certain.
It's a slow burn.
They have inundated us with 6, 8, 10-man wrestling matches,
Right.
which I am completely finished with, because they keep putting the Jurassic Express in them, and I hate Marco Stunt. Either way,
I was on a cleaning binge and I had the show on. I watched the whole show while I was binge cleaning, and the only thing that was worth anything was when Adam Page finally made his entrance out, because I guess they've been teasing on being the Elite, that he was out of the group or whatever. So when they finally got to that moment, it was amazing. I was here for it. But somebody had mentioned that All Out was this weekend, and then I was talking to a coworker at work, and they mentioned that it was also Labor Day weekend. And I'm sure I don't know what holidays are at this point, but All Out is this Saturday, September 5th. Of course, because of COVID-19, this is taking place at Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. This is the third. No, I'm sorry. This is the second All Out show. It's the third one that they've had at this time of year, if you count All In, which would have been their first pay-per-view at this. And this is not in Chicago though. The other two took place at the Sears Center in Illinois, but again, COVID. They have 9 matches scheduled, including the pre-show match. I guess we'll start going through a lot of this. Brother Mav said, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be showing y'all how the podcast is made, but he said his phone is ass. So I think we'll start talking about this, and if he chimes in, he chimes in. Nigga Google right now has the Britt Baker versus Big Swole match listed as a pre-show match. It's tooth and nail match. What does that mean?
Back? I'm not sure.
I think she's back for this. The whole thing was built for this show. I watched Big Swole wrestle Rebel. Was it last week? It was not. Rebel's a really good performer in the vignette. She's got really good comedic timing. I think she's really funny. When it's time to wrestle, I do not want to see that. It was a really bad match, but I mean, Swole and Britt Baker should at least be a good match, right?
Well, it depends on what the rust looks like.
What the rest of the card is, you're saying?
The rust. Have we seen Britt Baker?
I have not. Yet? I don't know because it's AEW, because it's COVID, there's no house shows, but I don't know what she's been. I'm going to hope that she's been home preparing. But yeah, I've not heard anything about her wrestling or seen anything about her wrestling at all. Either way, I have to go with Big Swole in this match. I feel like Big Swole, this is her win.
Definitely rocking with Big Swole over Britt Baker.
Swole bitch.
I don't know where Swole was on anybody else's list, but if Swole isn't in the right spot, then your list is garbage. So, what else is going on here? Matt Hardy is taking on Sammy Guevara in a Broken Rules match. If Matt Hardy loses, he has to leave AEW. So Matt Hardy's winning, right?
No.
So what does that mean?
Matt Hardy branded match on there's a handful of guys that they have successfully built homegrown. Rivera is one of them, and he's gonna win.
But then what do you do? I know it's a Broken Rules match, but then I know Matt Hardy ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, but Matt doesn't have to be a wrestler. It's wrestling. It's pro wrestling.
But
Lose town.
But like at some point, why do we need the thing?
Because he's old, and we've got to give him some reason to leave.
Like if y'all could do the same thing in a regular match,
Bubba shit, baby, Bubba. I'm sorry.
Just do the shit in the match. Why do we need the shit to be some other shit? Especially because your old ass is old. Like maybe the fact that you're so old you have to make the match something else is proof that maybe you should just be on the outside of the match.
Well,
tell them how to do the match. Maybe how about that? How about you make a little more cheddar as a producer, than a performer?
I think that's his transition. I think that's what he wants to do,
which is silly because how much more could he been making up the road? You see what Rey Mysterio's doing right now? How many times he tore his triceps at Payback? But how many times that man's been slid up under the ring?
Like Titus O'Neil.
Every match he slid and did the Canadian Destroyer. What they call it? The Uptown, Downtown Freak Show. What they call that shit? What's the shit that Naomi did? The shit that they was making fun of her because the other girl can't move. Up top. Nah, the move had the shit had a name. What was the shit? Hold up.
Hey Davis, just look that up for us, baby. We'll get that to y'all.
We'll get it next week.
We'll get that to y'all.
Davis ain't gonna find it. Botch. Let me see. Naomi Lacey Evans botch. I just want to know what it's called, like a downtown or some shit like that. Because he did the move. It looked like a Canadian Destroyer, but that's the thing. It's not a Canadian Destroyer. It's some based off of the way they're the way they're placed or something. Naomi could only say it because Naomi was on Twitter like copping pleas about it. It essentially looks like, I think, a Canadian Destroyer though. Either way, Ray don't need to be doing that just to get his son a spot on the WWE roster. I saw Naomi's posing with this woman talking about this my stylist. Come to find out, it's Rey Mysterio's daughter. Like he getting everybody in there at the WWE.
Rey Mysterio might be black on the low, yo. He do a lot of black stuff.
His hustle, he is hustle man.
And nigga do a lot of black stuff. The nigga wear a whole lot of name brand clothes. Get a whole family into the job. That sounds just like a nigga work with me.
Nepotism. Niggatism.
What's the next match on the card?
Jurassic Express is taking on the Young Bucks. It's just a tag team match. There's no stipulation at all.
I think the Bucks finally start winning matches.
They better against Little Man.
I'm gonna jump out the window and say Jurassic Express.
I hate
why?
You.
Why?
Because the Jackson brothers never win.
Yeah, because
they never win.
The fucking Bucks, and I hate
all right.
Them.
Because it's a holiday weekend. I'm gonna just ask now. Should people be expecting us to be watching this as a family? If a link is provided.
Oh, nigga, I'm gonna be trash.
Exactly. Just making sure. Just making sure.
I'm out in the streets this weekend for sure.
The Saturday pay-per-views make it hard for me to even care about this show. I'll be home because I don't go nowhere, but we'll see how much I'm actually paying attention to. Right now, I might tune at the end of the card unless it's Brody Lee, then I don't really care anymore. The Dark Order, which is Brody Lee, speaking the devil, Colt Cabana, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson, is taking on Matt Cardona, a.k.a. Zack Ryder, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares of Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall in an 8-man tag team match.
Hey, yo, if they don't stop inundating us with these goddamn million-man March matches, regular tag team matches is good enough, nigga. God dang. Y'all niggas are y'all gonna have a 6-man championship belt? Is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna get a Freebird belt?
Trio.
Y'all niggas keep giving us 6, 8, 10-man matches. I'm finished with those, my nigga. Enough already. I'm sorry for ranting.
It's all good. It's all good. Talking shit, but what is this? Shit, there's a 21-man casino battle royal. Winner receives future AEW World Championship match.
Is this the casino chip on the ladder match already?
I don't think it's just a battle royal. They like doing these battle royal matches, but I think this is on the main card, which is they usually have these on the pre-show. I'm surprised it's listed as a main card match. Do y'all want me to read all the people in this match?
No.
The first person listed is Darby Allin. I feel like he's probably a big favorite.
Yeah, like maybe name like 2 or 3 people on the list who look like they might have a chance.
We'll see how far.
Best 3.
I'm gonna read the first 5. We'll see. I want y'all to tell me how far down this goes in terms of believability. The first person listed is Darby Allin. Then it goes Lance Archer, Brian Cage.
Yes.
Ricky Starks.
No.
It's early for Rick. And then the next person is Pentagon Jr.
No.
And then the rest of this is kind of just like people who were just there, like Eddie Kingston, Austin Gunn, Santana. And this is the match where everybody who is dope, but it doesn't have anything to do is able to be. I'm assuming Darby Allin gets
Andre Battle Royal.
Facts. My assumption is Darby Allin is winning this.
I'll go with Brian Cage. Luke Cage.
Don't do
Johnny
that.
Cage.
Johnny Cage makes sense. Nicolas Cage. He ate Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage. Hikaru Shida is taking on Thunder Rosa, defending the AEW Women's World Championship. Thunder Rosa, she's the one that teams with Ivelisse. Nigga, you on mute, bro.
He's muted. Your brother Math is muted. So
match of the night.
That's gonna be the match.
Thunder Rosa.
I gotta watch Thunder Rosa. I'm not. I don't think I've seen her recently.
I will definitely hear about that match.
It's not exciting, which is the one part about the WWE, the AEW. They've not done a great job with making their women's division feel like a $1 million.
I keep telling you, it was the Asian lady that was dressed up like the gay nigga they made the movie about. That was supposed to be that was your people. She come out with the microphone and a mustache. That was a good idea. Cody, come on, yo. You wildin', my nigga. Like that's who you booked. That's who you put on the TV.
Christ. Kenny Omega and Adam Page are defending the AEW World Tag Team Championship against FTR, who will have Tully Blanchard in the building.
FTR.
It's about time, right?
FTR.
That makes sense. I don't really care about them. Jericho is taking on Orange Cassidy in a Mimosa Mayhem match. The match can be won by pinfall submission or throwing the opponent into a tank of mimosa.
I want to lose that match.
This is what happens when Jericho has a feud that is just viral. Because this is dumb. This should have been over. If this is the end result, I don't need to see all this.
This isn't the end.
This screams Jericho wouldn't have been around if COVID wasn't here. So let's just make the most Memphis ass end result possible. A tank full of mimosa in 2020, like that's so old school.
I think Jericho booked that. You know what we should do?
Jericho the King Lawler face ass.
Jericho the King Lawler is pretty good. That might be the name of the episode.
But yeah. It's weird. I mean, does Orange Cassidy get the win? Is Jericho down because it should be the end of their feud, right?
Nah, they don't. I don't know if they see. I don't know the hierarchy of their pay-per-views. If this isn't that big, it depends on how big this is. But
this has got to be pretty. Jericho's a big name on the show.
But it also seems like a weird way to blow off a feud with a weird stip, right?
Right.
So I don't know. I'm gonna go Jericho here.
I only wonder because Jericho has been willing to go there with this feud. Like I don't want to say the weirder the better, but he's definitely been giving Cassidy more than I think some other people would get in certain situations because I think he knows that if in the back of my mind or back of his mind, I think just a wrestling guy, he's like, yeah, if I can get this guy over, he's already viral, but if I can make him a star after this feud, then it's going to be in the history book. So I think he's willing to go the extra mile, which means we get a tank full of it's going to be as amazing as you think it's going to be, but sometimes it would be okay if we just had a good wrestling match too. So the final match, All Out, Jon Moxley taking on MJF for the AEW World Championship.
It's time.
It's time for Big Mox to lose that belt.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
are they ready for that?
I believe so. I definitely believe so. I think Moxley would be probably a better character chasing.
Yeah.
We don't know that, but I think faces are always better chasing. Heels are great with the belt if they're,
if
they're dastardly. Oh, and this one can.
I like the MJF idea as champ. I hope he's ready. I don't know if I'm 100% on board with it being time. I know he can talk, but I think him being a champion with nobody around is going to be interesting. If he can't pull it off, it's going to look weird. So that's my only fear is him faltering when he has it. But there's nothing. It's a dumb fear because I know that he's so good at what he does. I can't imagine him actually faltering, but I would be a liar if I didn't say what I thought. So yeah,
MJF is an Attitude Era Eddie Haskell character.
Facts. You're not wrong there. You're not wrong there at all. That is this Saturday's I almost said payback. That is this Saturday's All Out pay-per-view. I guess it's on Fight TV or wherever you normally get AEW pay-per-views.
Bleacher Report.
Bleacher Report, if you do BR Live. If you're a pirate, I wouldn't be surprised if you can't find the link. The last couple times they've had pay-per-views, it's never mind. A couple things just wanted to mention. A lot of COVID shit going on. The Rock recently announced that he caught the COVID, and then I guess there's been reports that both AJ Styles and Kevin Nash and his family have been dealing with COVID-19. So I say it every week. Every time I can get on an open mic, 6 feet and wear a damn mask. It's not that difficult. Go home, wash your hands and hand sanitizer. You got to make it because a lot of places are not going to be open regular until there's a vaccine. Big fact. You can go online right now and get all types of masks. If you like Amazon Prime's The Boys, I got a mask with The Boys on it. It might be exclusive because this is what we do, but you can get all types of masks out there. You just got to find them. You just got to.
Hey, y'all niggas stop leaving your nose out in your mask too, man. Y'all wilding.
Y'all look mad dumb. What they say, it's like having a condom around your balls.
Yep, 100%.
Before we get out of here, brother fam, do you have a Black Wrestler of the Week?
Yeah, Sister Faye Jackson, who showed up on the PWI 500. But she's making my Black Wrestler of the Week because she had the most amazing alias for herself.
Oh, word?
She was Thick She Langston.
That's good. I mean, I guess, and that
with 3 C's.
That's poetic justice because my Black Wrestler of the Week has to be Big E Langston. Big E. Again, watching Payback. It was good to see it. That's where they really tell the stories, and seeing them break down his Talking Smack appearance, and then being able to see him go have a match, decisively win against Sheamus, and then spend the next 4 minutes just yelling at Corey Graves and anybody else, being like, "You better tell him I'm ready," like that. In a weekend when we just lost a true king, like an actual. Good dude on earth. It's good to have that's why representation is key. I hope every kid gets to see somebody that looks like them responding to the things that they're responding to in a real way. That's Biggie. Even if he doesn't get a title, I think just him being who he is on WWE TV is a blessing. So shouts to him, shouts out to Faye, shouts out to all black folks doing the damn thing, both as wrestlers and as podcasters. Even if you wouldn't believe it, you know, we're not bad people out here. We're just out here loving wrestling. Before we get out of here, fam, please let the people know where they can find you on social media.
If you knew better, you'd do better. Yeah. IllFan790, your social media choice, but more importantly, at Where's Buffy, where'sbuffy.com every single weekend. Shout out to my cousin Math at Math Damon, and shout out to the Warriors.
Facts. Damn it. You're so good at what you do. I was trying to find one thing because I wanted to shout out to your man, the director of Reina.
Oh, shout out Ak.
It's fun seeing people on Instagram because then you see them doing work randomly. He had some big ass camera shooting on top of some type of car. I don't know what he was doing, but I can only imagine big things were popping with that. So yeah, peace to Ak. If you ain't seen Reina, Amazon Prime Video, it's over there for what, like $5 or something like that. Like
Yeah.
you can get your Saturday on with nothing. That 100%. And a bottle of Hennessy.
Yeah.
And if
you knew better, you'd do better. Yeah, excuse me. Hey, nigga, I dare you to say we copying off of you, nigga, at you stole over my whole act. I'm sorry.
Terrible. I'm at Cal on Twitter, at Black Rasslin on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. BlackRasslin.com is the BlackRasslin.com is a website, and as always, you can find the Black Rasslin podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get podcasts, we are there. Please let the people know that you rock with us. Like, comment, rate, review, subscribe, whatever you got to do.
Hey, man,
let
please,
the people know.
If you laugh 2 or 3 times during this episode, hop over. If you one of you iPhone niggas, you know what I mean. Shout out to y'all. If y'all hop over to the iPhones, Apple Podcasts, and hit that 5-star, you know what I'm saying, the 5-star button splash, yo.
On that Note 20, you just use Google Podcasts? You got to use Spotify.
I actually use a podcast catcher. That's a whole nother conversation.
I respect it. I mean, hey, anytime people want to, that's the fun thing about being able to interact with us is because you can catch those little gems if you want. But that's for another day. We will catch y'all next week. It seems like there's a show going on every other week, and hopefully next week isn't as crazy as this week. We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.
With the Ronin and the Booker.
Facts. Big facts.
Peace.
That's what's up.